Welcome back. Happy New Year's to everybody out there from Clockwise Thoughts. I'm Scout. Of course, this is Black.
Happy New Year, everybody. Good to see y'all again.
Hopefully that y'all had a great New Year's and, wonderful Christmas, whole deal. Hopefully everybody got what they was searching for. I know
You mean that
me and my
stimulus
family
check?
did. Yeah, hey. People are still trying to hope and count those down right now. They're
I can understand that. Trust me, I can understand that one.
trying to secure that government bag right now. But with all that being said, Black, do you really think things has actually changed since it's a new year, and it's the first day back in this new year? Do people actually going back to work? How are you feeling about that?
I don't know about that going back to work point that you just made right there. Because look, it may be the first, I guess you could say, official work day of the new calendar year, but it looked like the last month of the old calendar year. I mean, I'm still seeing parking lots, buildings half empty and everything, and I'm just like, I thought they said we should start to return. Again, maybe I'm jumping the gun, but it was just like there was nothing really. There was really nothing from December that I can honestly say that made me think January was just going to magically be some miraculous turnaround. It was just like, okay, this is kind of looking like this is going to be the norm for quite a while. Mind you, we got this vaccine. I don't even know how I feel.
Yes.
I don't even know how I feel about that one, honestly, man. I don't know how I feel about that.
What do you mean? The vaccines is being pushed out. Everything is going through. And it's supposed to be getting done, after you
Yeah,
get that first thing.
but okay, maybe I'm overthinking this. So hopefully, you guys, the listeners, y'all can help me understand this one. When you get a flu shot, I could be wrong, but I believe what the concept is we're going to inject you with a dead virus so that way your body can create an immunity.
True.
So
That's how the flu shot works.
so how in the world we make a vaccine for something we don't actually have control over? What exactly are you getting stuck with? Because we can, I
Your
no
guess is
real
good
talk.
as mine.
Nah, because like,
But
okay, the president took that cocktail, as they kept calling it, of whatever, so he didn't get it and he got it. I mean, thankfully, he made a recovery. He's fine, but he still got it. So I mean, what exactly are we supposed to be getting pricked with? That they have a vaccine. I'm lost, man. You know what I mean? I'm a little skeptical.
hey, I can understand. But that's just how it's going just right now. People are just, hey, I don't even know. We're out here giving shots. First up is the medical field. They getting that.
Yeah,
I believe
the guinea pigs.
politicians should be on the last stroll because let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's
Is
cut
this
to the
how we get
chase.
rid of career politics?
No. Let's cut to the chase. We've already had one senator's house, pretty much vandalized, defaced because he's like, why give the American people $2,000? Okay, sir, your net worth is 22 million. 22 million.
Mm-hmm.
But the house that they defaced was in a normal, basically suburb in
Yeah,
Kentucky.
yeah,
And the people of Kentucky is probably wondering, why did we reelect you? For what?
because they've
Oh,
always.
sorry. I guess I'll go with that old cardinal rule. Hey man, when you're dead, you can't take it with you no way. Uh you act like you hurting for it. It's not you
um
that's gonna get it. You already a millionaire and then some. Your net worth, your annual net worth of 22. Dude, you don't need it. But the way
can I
I
can
see
I
it,
can I
nah.
recklessly speculate real quick?
Oh, go right
All right,
ahead. Go right ahead.
let me recklessly speculate. And okay, I'm not even trying to be mean when I say this. Is just a personal thought of mine. So I don't know if y'all can actually come after me for it. But I believe the senator that you're speaking of, I believe he's holding on to his assets because the acting attorney general in the state might need some of that to dig himself out of the hole he rightfully should be in. We don't know if that'll ever come to pass, but maybe they're just like, you know, we're trying to hold on to the money just in case. You know what I mean? Just in case.
Well, I'm just saying, those two gentlemen would not be in trouble if they would literally stop putting their foot in their mouth, not by only speaking, but their actions. Their
Good luck with
actions.
that.
Because one, hey, you look at it, the Breonna Taylor incident, that's all up in your
Yeah.
state. That's all up in your state. And now the new year ain't really 4 days in, and this this man is just, no, I don't believe they deserve it.
Well,
You
no,
know,
the thing is, it's not even that, but it's not even that it's not even that that's new. As funny as it is, to a degree, I got to be real with, he stuck to his guns. He had been saying he wasn't trying to give us money from, I think, the first stimulus. He was
right.
like, no, we don't need to do that. It would probably be better to just bail the bank itself out. I think that was his stance.
But that's the thing. Okay. You see how the economy jumped back up and was thriving off the first one, not including small
Yeah, you got,
business loans, what they gave out, college debt forgiveness that they've been wiping away. They are trying to actually was trying to give back
hmm
because I'm gonna say it, and I'm like this. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, okay, everyone has an opinion. And hey, we're all about hearing people's opinions on this show. Comment, you know, hit us up. But I'm gonna say this: last year, 2020, if it didn't snowball from about February all the way until still going, because it hadn't stopped. It's like one thing after another. When you have the nation up in arms to where riots want to break out, you have multiple shootings, multiple injustice by law enforcement. Heck, even last year alone, you had protesters or whatever they say take over a whole entire town because the
well, yeah, for the
nonsense
most part.
and BS that's been going on.
I mean, they took over they took over downtown, but they did kind of, in a sense, lock off all of downtown.
Yeah, so you got people that locked off 4 square blocks.
Not
Okay,
not 4 blocks, not squared. You know what I mean? All the way
yeah,
around.
yeah, for 4 square blocks. So I look at it last year with everything happening and the death totals reaching the way how it is and how it was and everything else. I'm sorry. America needed and needs to follow the rest of the world. You can't take it with you. We've been in debt as long as what I've been alive. We've been in massive debt. It ain't going nowhere. If you ain't owing somebody in this world, heck, I don't know how you ever came about. But I'm so sorry to say, look at it. Go up north. Free healthcare. We ain't gonna never reach that level. Ever. Ever. Free healthcare for everyone. And not including Canada was what, giving $2,000 a month?
Well, we'd have to like now. What I would really want to do before I go that far is I would like to actually check what the population numbers are because unfortunately
Right,
the
but
census said
still,
there's 323 million of us. So there's a lot of people
but
here.
okay, but even if it wasn't that, break it up to where even if it was quarterly, help some people out. Do some right things. You've had more people in last year
Mhm.
filed for bankruptcy and was on unemployment than what you have had in the last 8 years total in one.
Mhm. Yeah, the
So
entire country in a sense grinded to a halt.
yeah, so you trying to tell me with the powers that be that sat on Capitol Hill that says that they run this great nation of ours,
Mhm.
that me and many of us has fought, bled, gave life for, in tears for. You trying to tell me you can sit on that hill in your suit, in your tie, in your dress, and be totally safe, but you won't give back to the people that help keep this alive and thrive and protect this place.
Well,
It's an
see now,
injustice.
here's the weird part. Here's the weird part because I don't know if it's more to say the situation fits, but there are these people that I have heard of. I'm still trying to, familiarize myself with the term globalist, but if I'm correct, trying to follow suit with the rest of the world would probably align with what I believe is a globalist, and that's what people like Donald Trump, in a sense, are trying to steer away from. So in this situation, I don't know. It probably would make sense for the world to follow suit, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
really know who is making. I don't know who's sitting at the table making those decisions since we are not a part of it. So
Right.
I'm not exactly sure. I can't say for sure or yes or no. I would be okay with that because I don't actually know who's making those decisions and I don't know how much of a say we would have in that. So to a degree, being separate, I mean, don't get me wrong, plagiarism is plagiarism, but hey, if it saves lives, it saves lives. You could
Right.
plagiarize their ideas. It's just tweak it to where, you know what I mean, we still have our
It
our,
fits
our
us.
freedoms, our autonomy. Yeah.
Right. But my thing is this. Okay, we can have NATO and a World Council to discuss about about all these peace treaties, who goes to war, who's allies with who. But you trying to tell me we can't have people sit down and have peace in a in a conscious mind to help out your fellow man? But wait, hold on. The thing what gets me, ain't that stated in one of our backings and in a great bit of history to help out your fellow man? Because what, this supposed to be the land of the free, the home of the brave, and here you can live the American dream.
It's the Icelandic dream, I can tell you that. But I mean, look, that what you're saying, it works in theory. But then again, so does concepts like nationalism and patriotism. In a sense, they work in theory, but realistically, you're not trying to help those within your country. You will just stand up and defend your country. But if the threat is already on the inside, who are you supposed to defend your country from?
That is
You know
true.
what I mean? This enemy
I,
doesn't have a face. You can't really just go out there and punch it, throw a missile at it or a few bullets. So, you know what I mean? We the aspect of coming together as a people, especially us. And this is another thing that I maybe I'm going too far into it, but I'm just saying there's so much diversity in our country alone.
mm,
It's
mm,
kind of hard to unite that many different tribes all sharing and occupying the same lands. It's a little difficult.
uh, I look at it like this: the rightful owners of this mug had to sit down and have a nice conversation before we got here,
Well,
and
yeah, it was get
they
down
was
or lay
working it out.
down.
But yeah, but they was working it out. But mm,
It was get down or
since,
lay down, but things
yeah,
happen.
but since then, it ain't been looking too good for the home team on a lot of fronts because I look at it like this last year alone, so much negativity and everything else. We honestly almost took a step back. Like this was the 19, you know, I say 1940s to almost 1965.
Well,
Because I'll be honest with you, I'll tell anybody.
we
And
were
and
at a
and I
very
have a very
heightened time
diverse
for that
family.
time.
I have a very diverse family, but
This
I
is
know
true.
that this year alone, if I'd have got pulled over, oh no, somebody in the car filming, but I'm keeping my hands on the steering wheel and will answer all questions. I ain't running. I'm not reaching for nothing. I will tell the officer,
Mm-mm.
yes, you can open up my door and get
Do
whatever
what
you
you got to
want because
do.
I'm not budging because I'm not hearing nothing false. It, people are still scared. If you get pulled over for a speeding ticket, it may be your last.
Mm-hmm.
And that's scary. And it makes you wonder, what happened to the good Samaritans out there? We grew up in a time when, Jehovah Witness and everybody else knocked on your door. You weren't afraid for them people to come in. Ain't so much nowadays.
True.
Because you don't know they could be faking it and then rob your whole entire house. Or
Very
it,
true.
it or if you get at a traffic stop and you go reach for something, it may be your last. Because look at it. We make movies and it's in headline news all the time about somebody actually going to reach for a wallet and the hailer, a plastic red cap gun. You trying to tell me
Hey man. Hey
people are
man.
getting laid
Look.
down for this? But the
Yes.
thing what gets me the most is this. They say the laws are to enforce in to protect the people of the country, right?
Mm.
In this last year, countless times that has been questioned of when has it been too far and when has it been straightly, blatantly, you're trying to cover up dirt
Mm-hmm.
that no one in their right mind, if they would see it, even without audio, you're wrong. You dead wrong.
Yeah.
Because honestly, given truth, you tell me this. How is only one police officer for the Breonna Taylor got arrested? But how is that man already out of jail and whatever else, but did not lose none of his assets because he transferred it into his wife's name? Didn't lose nothing, but time served.
Well,
You
the Breonna Taylor situation, which I'm like passionate about that one. I still to
yes,
this day I don't understand how the boyfriend was able to call 911 while she was laying on the floor bleeding. And I'm just like, if somebody kicked your door in, claimed that they were police, and she's on the floor bleeding, how are you not in custody? Again, you're the one that admits to shooting at the officer. So how are you not in custody? How are you not face down? Why are EMTs not in? And what's more eerie than anything is when you listen to the 911 call, you can tell he's broken up, but it's just the silence in the background. The fact that
right.
there's
No gunshots
no
going.
no
No,
sound,
nothing.
no siren, no people talking in the distance, nothing. It's eerily quiet. And I'm just like, he's like, the door is open. The door is open and she's on the floor bleeding. So the bullets have come into the house. How are you still able to make a phone call?
And no sound. His breathing and the way how he was talking wasn't
There's
sporadic.
nobody
It
in the
wasn't.
background. You didn't hear
Mm-mm.
anybody, rummaging through things in the background or anything. He
Right.
sounded like he was standing in a hallway with the door open, and you couldn't even tell the door was open.
It's a lot
Yeah,
of stuff. There's
strange.
a lot of things is unjust. And then even with the George Floyd thing, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
I've taught combatives. I know hand to hand, you don't never step on someone's neck unless you try.
Yeah,
Even when you,
like,
I will tell
what are you
anybody
trying to accomplish by that?
that's not a subdued technique. You trying to kill him and
Yeah, like,
constant
what is?
pressure, and then not including when the camera flipped around, when the people that was holding the camera phones went around the vehicle. You did not only have the one guy on his neck, you had two other officers on the rest of this man's body. You trying to tell me it took three people? Three.
I mean, if you don't eat your Wheaties in the morning, you never know, bro. You never know.
But I'm saying the man calling out, pleading to his mama.
Well,
And then
yeah,
you got that, then you got that ingrained and stained into the fiber of America. You have that ingrained. Because how many times that got shown and viewed? And then now you have a senator who just, yes, he may have stand firm with it or whatever else from the get, but you've been wrong. You've been saying the wrong same things. And now your own state is looking at you like, uh,
yeah, yes.
you know we a blue collar state. They
Mm-hmm.
coal miners and everything else. They work with their
And
hands.
we broke. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
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 But you
Yes.
don't want to help. Oh,
No.
okay. Okay.
Do you know why?
And,
Because
and
remember, you have residents, I believe they have residents in Washington. So yeah, that's where you live. But
yes, that he does not have to pay rent on
no,
or bills.
you'll be in Washington. The former I believe our former senator down here, I cannot remember this old man's name. He was a nice guy. But he was the one that mentioned it in the press conference that let me know we were preparing for a hurricane, and he had went to Washington to get approval, funding approved. Um, it's crazy because he literally said in the press conference, he goes, honestly, I could have stayed in Washington for this. Like I could have literally just stayed in Washington until this was over and come home. But he's like, I'm from here. I'm one of y'all. So I came back. I made sure I got back before the storm hit. I'm going to be here when it hits.
You ain't got too many people up there on Capitol
That's
Hill.
what I'm saying.
No.
So it's like, yeah, y'all don't actually have to be down. Yeah, that's your house, but you don't really have to be here. You can always just say you at work.
True.
Yeah,
And my thing is, we said it before. We said it with our post-election show. This new administration, I'm happy history has happened. First woman VP, whatever. That's great. I'm sorry. You're going to have to take on the same type of job and stuff with, and it's worse now than what President Obama did with both of his terms. Because one, you still have a pandemic and cure the stuff. That's one. Two, America is still divided with racial tension and also highly divided from the rags to riches poverty line.
Mm-hmm.
As my grandfather Yeah. Oh yes. As my grandfather, Mr. Fitchy Bailey, used to say, "Put your waders on, boys. Stuff done got deep, and it's deep." And um, it was a lot of promises made, a lot of deals broken. It still astounds me that the people that you promised to, you started getting rid of when you got in trouble, and you started firing folks left and right. Now you got a new administration that's coming in that's going to be looking like,
y'all all got to go.
what you doing here in the first place?
Yeah,
Was you
much.
helping? Was you helping? You know what I'm saying? Was you literally helping? No.
That in itself will further perpetuate, unfortunately, the flaw in our system of government, where when the administrations turn over, we start flipping the people into certain key positions. So it's always okay, well, like, he cut that deal, which sounded real good, but that's because they owe him a favor or whatever, what have you. Now that we put this new person in, they're not going to probably be able to get that same price. So now, now what do we do?
You know what I call it? I call it the Paul George and James Harden syndrome. That's what I'm calling it.
Not showing up in the playoffs?
Evidently, or crying, and you get your way. It's going to be either one or the other. Shout out to Mr. Steph Curry. I love the 62 points. I'm sorry, Dame Dollar, it had to be on your team, but the man shows Steph Curry of old. I'm sorry. He had me in the kitchen thinking about cooking because I said that man was on fire over there. He was baking up a lovely game.
Hold on, real quick. Okay, bookend, politics suck. Senator McConnell, get your act right. Okay, now on this point though. Okay, see. Okay, I know this is gonna sound mean. And I hope I don't sound like a hater. But I'm just like, 62 is nice. It is, but it's just like, bro, you are literally open anywhere in the gym. I kind of almost feel like you probably could have or should have dropped a couple 50 burgers, sprinkling along the way.
Hold on. I got to disagree.
I'm not trying to be a hater, but it just,
No. The only reason why I disagree was this. He ain't got Clay.
Yeah,
they know
I agree. And Andrew Wiggins.
Mr. Green was just Mr. Green is just now getting back into the flow because he's getting back into the rotation. And you got a rookie. Wait a minute. Hold on. Look, you got a rookie.
Yeah, that's true.
It's filling in real nice. That what we have seen.
He's got good trade value right now. I was actually hearing somebody talk about trying to move him in a package deal to bring Harden to the Warriors. But at the same time, they've got a young center themselves that's actually producing right now too. I think he's actually. I think he's showing they got rid of Clint Capella for a good reason, but they didn't replace him with anything.
Well, I'm gonna let you know, John Wall down there in Houston appreciate that young man that's screening right and left because John is no longer getting bumped off the screen. I seen it from myself down there. I said, what?
But John Wall can't shoot, so that's what's going to happen.
But listen, that screen is set at the foul line so John can do what John do. We know John can't shoot. John's a slashing playmaker. Let's call it off of 2K what it is. He's a slashing playmaker. That's what
I would call it. And a very good one at that.
So that man is going to go to the bucket to get his, and he already know, hey, if that lane close off, Mr. James Harden with your traveling hop step, because that's the travel. I don't care what you say. That's the travel. Shoot as you feel. You still may not be in basketball shape because you still nowhere near in basketball shape because your minutes is reflecting that.
It is not a traveling violation, sir. It's an up and down, but we ain't gonna say nothing.
it's still it's still a messed up call. Now, since we on basketball, I'm gonna say this. I like what I've been seeing from over here in the Eastern Conference. I feel
Yeah, it's
happy
competitive.
to be part of the Eastern Conference. Oh yes, because KD and Kyrie ain't no longer broke because they getting up and off the floor. The Cleveland Cavaliers has had their best start since LeBron left. But wait, hold on. I
Hmm.
think you called that. You called that in the summer. You get rid of Tristan and his messed up things. Look, don't get me wrong, Mr. Thompson. I know you NBA champion. You was an Iron Man. Great, good things.
But you ain't helping that squad.
I'm glad you went to Boston. Hallelujah. I'm glad because
Because
them young boys
they
in
needed the help on
Cleveland.
the boards. They needed the help on the
Yes.
boards. Real talk.
But
They
the
did.
young boys over there in Cleveland, minus Saxon, I'm sorry, I ain't never liked the man. That's just my opinion. He can go elsewhere, far as I can see. We still need a great point guard. But listen, them young guns over there, Larry Nance Jr. and everything else, doing their thing. But the one guy I gotta talk about, and I know you know what I was gonna talk about. Thank you, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You put you made sure LeVar stayed where LeVar needed to be at, but you got a good up and coming man. The first game, he looked a little rocky. He didn't score no points. But since then, Mr. LaMelo Ball been averaging close to 19 points a game. Like I said before on the last show before our break, it's his rookie of the year to lose.
Well,
And the man proving it by having highlight reels every game. Man, you don't bounce pass. Only other person I've seen that has thrown a bounce pass in transition from half court of these
LeBron.
new generation players. Hold
I
on,
would say
nope.
LeBron.
I said new generation players. Is his brother.
Yeah. You're right. For the newer generation, you're right.
For the new gen, now if we go to mine and yours, I always appreciate Mr. Tim Hardaway with the killer cross. His bounce
Jason Kidd.
passes was all. Okay, listen, it's a list. Tim
Yeah, I about to
Hardaway,
say
Jason Kidd,
Jason Kidd can
Jason
hit you in
Williams,
stride.
John Stockton. Listen here, we got a lovely list of passers that would. White chocolate. Listen here, I will honestly say, since I went to East Bank and I know you went to DuPont, and I'm sorry that y'all thrashed us when I ain't even gonna go there, but that's besides the point. You've always been a phenomenal passer. I can't wait to see what your son do. That's what I'm just saying. Let me put that out there.
Well, 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 well. His son is, from what I saw, looking like he might be a better shooter than his dad. He ain't never gonna have the handle. He ain't never gonna have the handle. But what I would have loved to always see would have been Jason Williams versus the professor. That would have been an interesting battle.
I think the professor would have got done in. I'm sorry to say, because Jason got real moves, and just like how Skip to Malou said when he finally made it to the NBA, hey, street ball and that real ball,
It's
totally
not
different.
easy to blend. It's not easy, but Skip could
But but
blend
but
it
but
though.
I will say, but when you can blend it,
Yeah, because
Mr.
Skip
Al
could.
Horford, it was a pleasure and an honor just to watch you. And then I always will say, Mr. AI, Allen Iverson, oh my, you had half the league rocking.
We already
Nowadays,
know
though,
my stance on AI. We already know my stance on AI. He would have
amen.
actually done way more damage had he been like 6'5".
No. Because you want to know why? I give credit to that. Because you want to know why? Because these gentlemen's names right here, Spud Webbs, Muggsy Bogues. I even
Yeah.
go up to where you from. Mr. John Starks. A lot of people don't give you credit, sir. I will give you credit. I will give you credit.
See, it's
because
weird.
that man,
because I like free flowing offenses.
me
I
personally,
understand. I understand.
I like a point guard that will does not mind to get into a star player's behind.
Yeah,
I feel that. Mr. Mark Jackson, one of my favorite players of all time, even though he played for the Knicks. I still like Mark because Mark told me how it was, even as a coach. Mark still told you how. Mark tell you how it is, even as an announcer. He still tell you how it is.
Yeah.
Mr. Reggie Miller understood the craft of trash talk. One of the most phenomenal games I've ever seen happened in the Garden. When you can score 9 points in under 10 seconds, I never will forget it. And I can break it down by each position. Larry Johnson, Shawn Kemp, Anthony Davis. My bad, Anthony Mason. Let's go back to that. Yeah, no, give me the grit.
That doesn't exist in today's game. I tell you that all the time. They don't. There's a sense of why bother competing if you don't have to in today's game. You know what I mean? It's really strange because the like with basketball, it's really funny. Our perception, I was talking to a coworker of mine about this, and he's like, we were going through the East, and he's like, you got Philly. He's like, Boston gonna be there somewhere. He's like, but then Brooklyn. He's like, no, he's like, Brooklyn gonna be a problem. And I'm like, yo, bro, you forgot about Giannis. He's like, oh, you're right. I can't believe you're right. I forgot about Giannis. So he's like, okay, so the East, there's one of a couple teams up at the top, and he goes literally, and then the West is just the West. And I'm like, why do we say that? But then I look back, like I look at it in a weird way. I really, really look at it, and I'm like, there just seems to be a lot more tenure in the West. Teams stay together longer. So it's almost like there's not really it doesn't really seem like in the West there's a lot of change.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? In the East, it's like there's usually a team in the East somewhere doing a rebuild because they're always all rebuilding. That makes a crazy splash in free agency, and we're like, okay, this is going to shake up the landscape of the Eastern Conference. But the West is pretty much usually around the same order. The only thing that's actually happened recently, the Warriors with injuries and San Antonio stopped making the playoffs. But other than that, the same teams are always pretty much in the same spot in your Western Conference. And I know that's true in your East, but it seems like when you say wide open.
Black. But when you say that, who would be your sleeper teams?
Where in
the West? Who would be your sleeper team? Yes, this year.
That's the thing. That's what I was about to say. In the West, I don't really think you can have like a sleeper team. You can in the East. You literally can in the East. I mean, Miami made the finals last year. You can have a sleeper team in the East.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
You know what I'm saying? But in the West, it's like the teams that are not going to sniff the playoffs, you already know that off rip, okay? You know that off rip. But as far as who could come out of the West, even with LeBron and the Lakers, Portland's got close enough. Denver's up and coming. Phoenix can shock you and make the conference finals if everything breaks well. Houston might be there. Golden State's supposed to, but injuries hit them. You already know what you're going to get with Portland to a degree. So it's like, you know what I mean? There's Dallas. And Utah is going to be that team that unfortunately probably makes the playoffs just to get bounced in the first round, although it will be one hell of a series. So in the West, I said, I don't.
Wait a minute, you're forgetting the team though.
Oh, the Clippers. Yeah, I think they're in there too somewhere.
No, not only the Clippers though. You forgetting You honestly have Ball, Williams, and Ingram.
You see what I'm saying? Like you see what I'm saying? Okay, so then and
they
but again,
all of them is healthy.
yeah, but at the same time, if we do have a repeat of the last season, then it's going to be pretty much Memphis fighting New Orleans,
right? Because they was knocking on the door last year, and I honestly believe this year they may just kick that mug open.
Now let me no. Let me change that one real quick. We're not going to say they was knocking on the door. What we're going to say is they were at the call box for the neighborhood. I don't think they had got to the door yet. They was at the call box. I don't know if they were going to sneak.
So you trying to say it's like on 2K21? They right there, but they had to win enough games to get into the city. Come on.
No, because like again, I got a coworker that's a big, he's a big Pelicans fan, and I'm just like, okay, but either way you look at it, number one, they don't really have enough to compete. Understand that word, compete. I'm like, Stan Van Gundy, I like as a hire because he's going to help make, to a degree, some amazing role players out of most of those guys. But Stan's not going to get you to a championship, and they don't have championship caliber talent. You just got to own that, especially after losing Jrue Holiday. You got to eat that. You just have to eat that.
I don't know.
Memphis is blue collar, but I don't think Memphis really has enough to really push any of the top dogs. Like even towards the lower extending tier of it. Memphis couldn't push Denver. I don't even know if New Orleans could push Denver. And Denver is what? You got the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nuggets, and what, Houston? So out of those four, Denver will probably be on the lower end of that spectrum. So they're lower, the lower of the cream of the crop. I ain't even counting top five, but you know what I mean. They would be on the lower spot, and Memphis, New Orleans, they're not the fifth best team in the West. You still got Dallas. So, yeah, like, they're at the call box. They trying to find the number in the call box to get into the community, but I don't even think they made a door yet. No, I'm serious. Like,
it may happen. It's not that way over here in the East. The way how no one thought New Jersey was going to come out on fire like how they were or how they're doing right now.
Wait, it's Brooklyn. Hold on. It's Brooklyn. It's not New Jersey. We don't exist no more.
Same thing. It's the Nets.
I wish it was the same thing. But some Russian guy and some rapper dude decided to move us like that was the smartest idea in the world. But we ain't saying nothing.
Hey.
But
it's deals like that to make us go crazy. But
look at the
on
a different
note,
not on the top.
True, but not to really to switch nothing off. I would like to take this time right now to say this. OHIO, we're going to the national championship next Monday. Thank you, all y'all Alabama Roll Tide fans. Thank you for being there as well. I'm sorry to tease my oldest son. I'm sorry, Jay. Your quarterback is now done. Hopefully he makes a splash somewhere in the NFL. Clemson is done. Bye. Bye. That's all I can say.
Everybody was talking about Buddy as of late. Okay, that's
yes, because he's done. And I'm so sorry. Now I'm gonna make this statement. If Justin Fields don't win the Heisman or win the Quarterback of the Year award, when you're able to finish a title to a Sugar Bowl game to where you can lead to a national title with Blues Ribs, not only did you have Blues Ribs, but in the same series that you got the Blues Ribs, throw a dart to the end zone, young man, my hat literally goes off to you because you showed that you could stay in there regardless to the fight through the pain and lead to success. I also want to also take this time. Browns fans, it's finally over. Woo, baby. Yes. it finally, we made it to the playoffs. Oh my, woo. I woke up feeling so, you know that little thing on Facebook with the cat saying yes. He was feeling good walking into work on Monday. I felt so good today. I looked at my homeboy. I said, how you feel? He said, that's okay. You still play us again next weekend. I said, but Steve, how do you feel? We here it. He said, it took you long enough. I said, we ain't talking about old news. We talking about news right now. We here. Even though I still say it should have been a different quarterback. But I feel proud. Oh, yes.
But you love Baker, though. But you love Baker.
No. No, I don't. No, I do
you
not.
You love Baker.
No, I do. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna say this, and I've said it before. I've said it before. For the quarterbacks that we passed over to get Baker Mayfield.
Revisionist history.
Oh Lord! One, that boy up there in Kansas City, who we invited to come down and did not pull that trigger. Let me wipe the egg. Oh Lord! Let me wipe all of that. But no, that's just one. The boy in Baltimore. The other boy and the other man in Baltimore, that man who keep running over us. Let me go like this. I am happy. I am overjoyed. I'm full of life. Yes, the Browns finally made it to the playoffs. But dear God, look who we passed over. We could have been there already.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Like my boy Bernie Mac said, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Lord, no. We could have been there already.
Don't get me wrong. You would have needed Josh Gordon, but...
And still.
I think he would have made it, maybe.
Hello. No. Hello. Let me point this out. When one of your years of Mr. Baker Mayfield, when Terrell Pryor, who has not really played quarterback before he shot himself or whatever else you may be in his domestic violence case, we ain't going to go there. Yes, I'm going to get on my Stephen A. Smith right now. When your wide receiver has a better QB rating than your quarterback who's supposed to keep leading you to the promised land.
Why does everybody have to do that to the guy? Why do you do that? You know the man feel bad about it.
I'm going to say we just going to talk the truth about it.
But the dude throwing the ball too is better at throwing the ball than you. That's awful.
Yes. Not including, wait a minute. If Mr. Beckham Jr. would not have got hurt this season, you had the man on the field from a slant, a bubble, a reverse, a Hail Mary. How many other plays that you can break down in football that you refuse? You check it and you look and then you check off the man and throw to somebody who's in double coverage. But now underneath this new coach, the new coach did not have a problem with yanking your behind to tell you if you keep missing the guy that's open because you don't want to go through your progressions right, you're going to catch pine needles. Thank you, Mr. Kitchens, for telling this man, hey, guess what? I don't care nothing about your social media. I'm here to get dubs. If you is not here to get dubs, I'm going to find a quarterback that is willing to get dubs. Do you understand me? No one's job is safe.
Well, his ain't either.
I know. So he took it as the whole team. From the GM on down, no one was safe. So guess what? Everybody got, I don't care if you a vet or not, everybody got to earn their spot. It's going to be battles until battles never end. And if you ain't doing something right one week, guess what? You ain't win that battle for that week. Set them down, homie. Because no, I like it because Coach Kitchen came with the remembrance of the Titans mentality. And he said, listen here, we got to get 10 to get in. But the show is not over. I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it now. Pittsburgh Steelers and your fans. This is not pun. This is not misdirection. But I'm going to just say how it is. If we beat you in this playoff game, your undefeated streak that you had, your undefeated streak at the beginning of the season that you had don't mean crap. Juju, what you doing your TikTok, you're saying you doing your TikTok videos, everything else dancing all up in the end zone. If the Browns come back and do the same thing what they did this past weekend, Lord have mercy.
Nope, I'm not having any.
So half my family is getting ready to probably disown me because they Pittsburgh Steelers fans. I don't care. I'm gonna let you know.
Nope. I don't want no part of this because if the Browns win this game,
I want all the smoke. I'm trying to tell you.
What?
Yes, it do.
What?
Every last bit of it.
It's gonna be smog. It's gonna be acid rain at that point.
Nope. Shout out to my man Tommy Egan. I'm gonna say this. Shout out to my man Tommy Egan for power, because like how he told Tariq in the season finale, I want all the smoke. I'm trying to tell you, if Cleveland beats Pittsburgh in this playoff game in our first return from over a decade, what was the last time Cleveland went to the playoffs? 2002, 210, something like that. I think it was 210. I'm more leaning to 2000. Yes, I'm just saying. So for us to win in the playoffs in this first playoff game, Lord, have mercy. But may the football gods go on, and we're going to say this in closing. Everyone, hopefully this year will be a better year than what last year was. To all the contestants, to all the contestants in these playoff games that's coming up this week, try your hardest.
Play hard.
Yes.
Play clean.
And next Monday to my Ohio State Buckeyes. Go Bucks. That's all I'm going to say. Because some people say, we fought our way to get there.
The Buckeyes in the college football playoffs. The Browns are in the NFL playoffs. I mean,
and the Cleveland Cavaliers is above 500.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the Cavs and the Indians, both sneak into playoffs, and you feeling real good about yourself.
Oh, dude, if that would happen, I'm telling you, I'm gonna start strutting like I'm a rooster out here. And I'm from the city. I ain't a country boy. I promise you, I'm gonna start strutting.
I think Bone Thugs and Harmony might actually come back to the city. The Cleveland Renaissance. This gonna go down in history. The year after the pandemic. What do y'all remember about 2021? What? You mean the year Cleveland came back? What you mean? LeBron already won them, but LeBron won them a title, and it all changed there. Cleveland came back on the gridiron. It was something amazing.
Yes, the Browns came back hard. The Buckeyes. Oh, if we win this game come next Monday, I'm gonna say Jeremiah Farrell. I'm calling you my friend, my childhood friend, TC Clue. For all that negativity, I'm trust me. And one person I'm gonna call most of all, Mr. Regard. I'm gonna call. Woo! I'm gonna call.
Why you do that? Shame.
I'm gonna call it. It's not shame. In this world, you got to be competitive, and I'm glad that we are. So I'm gonna close the dish. In the year 2021, people out here, Stop accepting excuses. A no is not a permanent answer. You got to be all in on yourself and what you believe in and stand firm with it. Don't have no plan Bs. Constantly work on your plan A and you will be all right. So the next time when the clock resets, me and Black, we still here. We still working on plan A and we all in this year. And then there's no excuses for us. We will see you again on Clockwise Thoughts. Peace.
Unless the Buckeyes lose.
No, I'm going to still be here. Peace.